Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So my parents asked me for $40 to $50K for a down payment for a second home.
Oh God, no! Don't do that.
Okay, well, can Michael finish his question?
Okay, go ahead.
So they currently live about 10 hours away from the rest of us siblings, and they don't have the down payment for that home. The reason for them not being able to move and be closer to us is my father is waiting to finish 5 more years at his job to collect a pension, and they're wanting to have the flexibility to be closer, but to have their own place. I'm 25 years old, just got out of my own debt, and I'm really unsure what to do.
Yeah, I would say no.
Why are they coming to you, Michael, and not another sibling?
I'm the most financially secure right now. My other 3 siblings are living paycheck to paycheck or just getting out of their own student loans.
Okay.
So what they're asking you is a couple of things. They've created a set of principles for their life. We're going to stay here for 5 more years. We don't want to be uncomfortable when we travel. We want to have our own place. Problem is, they're grown adults, but they can't afford these principles they've put into motion. So they come to their 25-year-old child and said, you make our dreams that we can't afford, you make our principles concrete because we can't.
Right.
And it's not your job. Right. And by the way, this will mess up your relationship. I would tell you there's a financial reason to not do this, but the main thing is, dude, it will mess up your relationship with your dad.
Worried about.
Yeah. So do you have $25,000 in cash you can just hand them?
Yeah. I'm debt free now. Quite a bit in a savings account right now that he's aware of. Obviously, he helps me look at my financials. He's the only one I talk to my financials about.
You need to stop doing that, by the way.
Yeah.
He's violated that trust, and so you need to get a SmartVestor Pro and have that person do that. I love my dad more than life itself, and him and I don't go through the intimate details of our finances together. I have a person, and he's got a person, and that helps preserve our relationship.
Right.
I hate this for you, man.
Can you predict it all, Michael? Just from the pattern of who they are, is it more your dad wanting this, you think, or your mom?
So it's obviously a complex situation. All of us kids were all over the country when they decided to move down south away from us. And now 2 of my siblings are getting married in the next few months and, wanting to have children, obviously, pretty quickly. So I think a lot of it has to do with them wanting to be closer to us during those times, obviously being stuck at that place that they're at right now due to their current position.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't be able to come up a ton anyways because he's working still, right? I mean, how often would they be able to come up realistically?
Yeah, that's a good question too, and I don't know.
So I would ask them that, and honestly, Michael, for them, I'm like, just do an Airbnb for 2 weeks. If they're coming up, for them financially, that makes more sense instead of having an asset here. We had some friends and their in-laws, were out of state. They weren't asking them for money, but they were considering buying a condo. And after they ran all the numbers, we're really probably realistically only going to be here a total of maybe 6 weeks throughout the year. If you put it all together, your kids are here, you can stay with them or get a hotel. I don't know. It just, from a financial standpoint, it doesn't make sense if you can't pay cash for a second home for it just to be there for your own leisure, but you're paying a mortgage on something that's literally just sitting there. It's not good. I wouldn't even suggest that to them. If they called us and were like, hey, I want to take out a loan on a second home, here's the situation, I would probably tell them, no, I wouldn't do that anyways, let alone borrow the down payment from your son.
Yeah, I'm planning to talk with them in a few months about it, to the both of them, and just let them know. But obviously, and I wanted some advice.
For sure. I would. The language I would use is thank y'all so much for reaching out, and that means a lot to me that y'all have noticed how I've turned my things around. That's pretty cool. I've got some pretty clear financial goals that I'm trying to hit, and so I'm not in a place where I can loan money to family members right now. And just any response they have is they've got to own it, man.
Right. I think the biggest thing for me is my parents have allowed me to be as in this position, and obviously I feel guilty
what does that mean?
About it.
What does that mean?
They really pushed, and so how I got successful was just I got lucky doing what I do for a job, and leaned on my parents a lot, and they had to take out some loans to get me to the point where I'm at now. More specifically, it has to do with obviously just the job that I have now. And, I thought about changing my careers at one point, and I'm glad I stayed with it because it's been very, very successful.
Yeah, and I hear that, and I think we can my parents paid for my college, right? There are things that our parents do to give us a leg up that is 100% being aware of that and saying that and the gratitude in that. That I'm not ignoring that at all. But also, Michael, you're a 25-year-old man who made decisions with his income where you could have gotten a second home, 2 cars, and you could be living paycheck to paycheck, even though you make a lot of money. You could make other decisions, but you haven't. You've chosen to do things to get out of debt and to save. And you've done those, Michael. They didn't do those for you. And your siblings are an example of your parents, I'm sure, helped them in certain ways as well, but they've chosen a different path. So I give yourself credit. Do you know what I mean? Yes, our parents have helped us, and we will always have that gratitude and acknowledgement always. But also there's a point that we become adults and we get to make our own decisions. And from there is...
And this isn't even at that level. Here's what I know for certain. If Dave Ramsey and Sharon Ramsey, I don't know how this happened, if they fell on hard times and they had nowhere to go, they have 3 amazing kids. One of them sit next to me that would say, y'all come stay at the house, right? We'll help you out. We'll help you get on your feet. This is not that situation.
Sure.
And so your sense of, you're thinking of your parents' investment in you as some sort of 401 that they put forward. And if they put that on you, shame on them. Parents don't pay for their kids' college as some sort of investment vehicle, so that they get a demand a return, so that when they want a different color car, you have to be their bank.
Right.
Your parents aren't destitute. They've made a series of choices starting a few years ago, and they're like, screw this, we're moving out of here. We want to move far away, and they did.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's a second home.
This is a second home.
It's a luxury.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
So this isn't, if your dad
was food,
then I'm all about it.
Yeah.
We're going to help out mom and dad. We're going to honor our father and mother. I'm all about that. But dude, if it's to pay for their second, loan them money for the second home, I'm gonna say no, man. And
I'll say this too, Michael, knowing my parents with the grandkids, they're very emotional right now with this dream of, oh my gosh, our whole family's there's gonna be babies. And all, their emotions are probably driving this as well. Right. And so for 5 years, they're gonna be okay. Yeah. They're gonna be okay.
They're gonna be all right.
And
mom can come stay with you anytime she wants.
That's right. Thanks for the call, Michael. Hope that helps.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.